We all know that plant genetic engineering has developed as one of the utmost significant molecular tools in the contemporary molecular breeding of crops. We have seen over the past years that important headway has been made in the growth of new and competent transformation techniques in plant. In spite of a variety of existing DNA delivery methods, agrobacterium mediated and the biolistic mediated transformation continue to be the two primarily used tactics. Specifically, improvement in agrobacterium mediated transformation of cereals and the supplementary refractory dicot species has been to a certain extent outstanding. Meanwhile, other transgenic enabling skills and tools have emerged, comprising generation of marker-free transgenics, chromosomal engineering and gene targeting. Even though transformation of some plant species or elite germplasm still continues to be an experiment, additional progression in transformation technology is anticipated for the reason that the mechanisms of leading the regeneration and transformation methods are well agreed nowadays. There are also being innovatively used to design better quality transformation methods or to develop new empowering technologies. We can see today that substantial progress has been made in genetic engineering of several plant species. In addition to efficient transformation methods, the design of suitable signals controlling transgene expression and the use of selection markers or reporter genes have been the foundations of this progress. On the whole, we can conclude saying that a desired gene is introduced into plants in link with a selectable marker gene like neomycin phosphotransferase gene, simply called as NPT2, phosphinothrycine acetyltransferase gene, simply call it as PPT, bialaphase BAR gene. Therefore, retrieval of a transgenic plant is enabled by selection of accepted transformants on a medium comprising a selection agent such as an antibiotic markers, say NPT2, HPT2, herbicide marker, BAR and so on and so forth. Alternatively, use of scorable marker genes like CAT, LAGZ, LUC and GFP allows not only distinguishing transformed and non-transformed plants, but also begin with to study regulation of various cellular methods, especially by engaging dynamic markers such as LUC and GFP, green fluorescent protein markers or luciferase markers. We can detect gene expression, intracellular protein traffic and protein localization in situ without the need to do away with plant. When that detailed introduction on the overall aspect of plant transformation, let us move on to learn more on the design of plant transformation. The genetic composition of plants can be changed in the laboratory by a process called transformation. In this process, a segment of DNA, as we all call it as deoxyribonucleic acid, is introduced or inserted in one of the plant chromosomes. Quite a lot of approaches have been developed to achieve plant transformation. In all these methods, single cells are transformed and after that regenerated into complete fertile plants by tissue culture techniques. Some of the transformation techniques can be functional only in protoplasm. In this day and age, particle bombardment and the natural vector Agrobacterium tumefaciens are favored. It is so because they can also manage with the whole plant tissues such as roots and leaves, which are at ease to handle. They are also more stable and require less of the extensive steps that are essential for plant regeneration. Transgenes are integrated at unplanned or random positions into the plant genome, but ways for targeted integration become more and more capable. The general steps involved in the process of plant transformation would include production of transgenic plants followed by isolation and cloning the gene of interest. DNA segments are then added to initiate or enhance gene expression. Selectable markers are added followed by the introduction of gene construct into plant cells. It is called transformation or through transformation. Selective transformed cells or tissues are picked and regenerated into whole plants. Plant transformation methods involve physical or directed method and chemical or indirect methods. Direct methods would include particle bombardment, which is otherwise called as biolistics, microprojectile gun method, electroporation, silicon carbide fibers, polyethylene glycol or PEG mediated transformation, and or protoplast fusion and liposome mediated gene transfer. Indirect method includes agrobacterium mediated gene transfer. A good host should be easily to transform and should support the replication of recombinant DNA. It should be free from elements that interfere with replication of recombinant DNA and should lack active restriction enzymes. It should not have methylases and should be deficient in normal recombination function. It is so because it is not altered by recombination events. These are some of the properties of host which makes it a good one. Agrobacterium is a rod-shaped bacteria found in soil rhizosphere. It is soil-borne and is gram-negative. It possesses causative agents of crown gall, the disease of dicot plants. Agrobacterium have the ability to transfer bacterial genes into plant genome, hence called the nature's genetic engineer. They are attracted to wound site by means of chemotoxins in response to chemicals such as sugar and phenolic molecules and also acetosringone, which are released from damaged plant cells. Agrobacterium contains Ti plasmids, which can transfer its tDNA region into the genome of host plants. A vector is a DNA molecule that is used to carry a gene of interest from one organism to the another. Two types of vectors are used, namely the cloning vector and expression vectors. If the vector is used for reproducing or cloning the DNA fragment, it is called a cloning vector. If it is used for expressing a specific gene in DNA fragment, then it is called an expression vector. A gene is a basic unit of inheritance comprising hereditary genetic material, that is the DNA. A gene of concern can be integrated into the genetic material of the vector. It then introduces into another organism. In general, the vector used in plant transformation is either plasmid based or virus based. Plasmids are the most commonly used vectors in plant transformation. They are used to clone the gene of interest and to transfer foreign genes into the host organism. Plasmids are small, circular, double-stranded DNA found in nearly all bacteria and in a number of fungi, protozoa, plants and animals. Plasmids are distinct from the chromosome and are self-replicating. Plasmids that are used for plant transformation have three important elements: an origin of replication, a selectable marker gene and a cloning site. The DNA sequences within the plasmid genome that specifies the location for DNA replication to start is called the origin of replication. DNA replication is a procedure by which new daughter strands of DNA are polymerized, letting the new plasmid to be passed on to the subsequent generation during cell division. Most of the plasmids used as cloning vectors having high copy number in the cell, that is, they can duplicate to great numbers in the host cells, bring about in many copies of the gene or genes of interest. The selectable marker gene is necessary to differentiate cells having the plasmid with the gene of interest from those that did not have the plasmid. The most regularly used selectable marker genes are antibiotic or herbicide resistant genes. Most selectable markers used in plant transformation are neomycin phosphotransferase gene, simply called as NPT, for selection in media containing kanamycin, phosphinothrycin acetate transferase gene for selection in media containing phosphothrycin or PPT, or hygromycin phosphotransferase HPT2 gene for selection in media containing hygromycin B. These cells that do not possess the selectable marker genes will not be able to rise in the existence of the antibiotic or herbicide targeted by the gene integrated. Only those cells that do not have the plasmid with the marker gene will regenerate. In a location within the plasmid where a piece of DNA with a gene of interest is inserted is called the cloning site. An example of a commonly used TI plasmid is PBAN19. P stands for plasmid. It carries two antibiotic resistant genes, one on the plasmid with a bacterial promoter to permit for selection of bacteria that have the plasmid. Another one is encompassed within the tDNA region with a plant promoter to consent for selection of transformed plant cells. It also transports Escherichia coli and Agrobacterium tumefaciens origins of replication. PBIN19 is a sample of a shuttle vector. It means that the vector can be propagated in two different host species, namely the bacteria and plant. PBIN19 can be used in E. coli to quickly make multiple copies of the gene of interest and carry out the essential assembly phases to build the transgene, which includes the gene of interest, promoter, tDNA borders and selectable marker in the right positions. It can later be relocated to Agrobacterium tumefaciens, which is more challenging to labor with for use in plant transformation. Agrobacterium tumefaciens has the natural capability to relocate DNA into a chromosome of the host plant. This bacterium normally has a plasmid known as TI plasmid, which is larger, circular, double-stranded DNA that can duplicate independent of the Agrobacterium tumefaciens genome. In the course of infection of the host plant, a fragment of the TI plasmid called tDNA for transferred DNA, which contains the gene of interest, is cut off and relocated into the host chromosome. Once in the plant cells, the tDNA integrates into the chromosome, resulting in genetically altered cells. The genetically modified plant cells are then regenerated into whole plants comprising the gene of interest, which will be further transferred into the next generations of the plant by the normal inheritance method. Virus-based vectors can also be used as a device for gene transfer to plant cells for specific purposes. Plant transformation vectors are plasmids that have been precisely designed to enable the production of transgenic plants. The most generally used plant transformation vectors are called binary vectors. It is called so because of their skill to replicate in both E. coli, a common lab bacterium, and Agrobacterium tumefaciens, a soil bacterium that is used to insert the recombinant DNA into plants. Plant transformation vectors have three key regions, namely the plasmids selection region that creates a custom circular strand of DNA, plasmids replication region which can be easily worked with, and a tDNA region for inserting the DNA into the Agrobacterium. Plant transformation has currently become a core research tool in plant biotechnology and a practical tool for cultivar development. Genetic transformation of plants has been the main emphasis of plant breeding during the past years. This has resulted in extraordinary increases in the production and enhancements in the crop quality. Fast developing technologies of plant cell and molecular biology offer a dominant and unique means to supplement and to complement the traditional techniques of plant breeding. This is done by allowing access to a limitless gene pool through the transfer of genes of interest between any two species of importance, regardless of their evolutionary or taxonomic associations. Modern plant biotechnology is centered on the transfer, integration and expression of distinct foreign genes into plant cell, which can then be developed in vitro to regenerate plants. The recovery of transgenic plants needs not only effective gene transfer methods, but also depends on the suitable use of indicators for the regulation of transgene expression. It also depends on vectors for transgene augmentation and transfer. Transformation is generally an unusual happening. Hence, selectable marker genes or visible reporter genes are co-transformed with the desired gene. This allows the identification of the transgenic clones amid large duel of untransformed cells. Let us see the selectable markers and reporter genes that have been effectively used in plant transformation. A gene whose expression permits the identification of an explicit trait or gene in an organism is called as selectable marker. A selectable marker is a gene introduced into a cell, particularly into a bacterium or to cells in culture, that confers a trait appropriate for simulated selection. They are a type of reporter gene used in laboratory microbiology, molecular biology and genetic engineering to specify the achievement of a transfection or other technique expected to introduce foreign DNA into a cell. Selectable markers are usually antibiotic resistant genes. Bacteria that have been exposed to a technique to introduce foreign DNA are grown on a medium comprising an antibiotic, and those bacterial colonies that can develop have effectively taken up and expressed the introduced genetic material. Normally, the genes programming resistance to antibiotics such as ampicillin, chloramphenicol, tetracycline or kanamycin and so on and so forth are considered beneficial selectable markers for E. coli. The non-recombinants are disconnected from recombinants, that is, a recombinant DNA is introduced in bacteria. Some bacteria are positively transformed while some remain non-transformed. When grown on medium comprising ampicillin, bacteria die owing to deficiency of ampicillin resistance. The position is later prominent on nitrocellulose paper and disconnected out to move them to nutrient medium for bulk manufacture of necessary product. A screenable marker is an alternative to a selectable marker which allows the researcher to distinguish between desired and undesired cells, example between blue and white colonies. It is founded on the point that non-recombinant have LAG-Z gene intact, hence they yield blue colonies. Alternatively, non-recombinants produce colorless colonies because of insertional inactivation of LAG-Z gene. LAG-Z gene yields beta galactosidase enzyme, which is in authority for the color of colonies. A selectable marker will defend the organism from a selective agent that would usually kill it or inhibit its growth. In most uses, only one in a several million or billion cells will take up DNA. Instead of testing every single cell, scientists use a selective agent to kill all cells that do not have the foreign DNA, separating only the desired ones. Antibiotics are the most usual selective agents in bacterial transformation. In plants, antibiotics that kill the chloroplasts are regularly used as well, while acceptance to salts and growth inhibiting hormones is becoming more prevalent. There are roughly around 50 selectable marker genes, out of which there are 6 negative selectable marker genes. They are CODA, AUX2, TMS2, DHLA, CYP105A and CUE. The NPT2, HPT and BAR offered for the production of over 95% transgenic plants. The PMI, the E. coli MAN-A and MANOS is the dependent selectable marker gene. Principal stable markers are an essential part of plant transformation approaches. Great qualities of such selectable marker genes have become available. They are antibiotics, antimetabolites, herbicide resistant genes, hormone biosynthetic genes and in recent times also genes conferring resistance to toxic intensities of amino acids or their analogues. The usefulness of a specific resistance marker calls for the individualities of the selection agent, the resistant gene and the plant material. The selection agent must entirely deter development of untransformed plant cells. On the other hand, the impact put forth by the dying untransformed cells on the transformed cells must be least. And so, the lowest concentration of the selection agent that overpowers growth of untransformed cells is usually used. The sensitivity of the plant's cell to the selection agent rests on the genotype, the explants type, the developmental stage and also the tissue culture environments of the transformation and regeneration progression. Lastly, the level of resistance similarly rests on the transcriptional and translational control indicators to which the resistant gene is bonded. It therefore could be essential to test several gene constructs. Genetic transformation is the introduction of gene demonstrating a cloned gene into a cell so as to express the protein encoded by the gene. Even though the physical insertion of DNA into a cell's nucleus is direct, the expression of proteins encoded by that DNA that is not part of a chromosome is usually only short-lived. The introduced DNA into one of the chromosomes of a genome will be transferred at the time of mitosis to all subsequent daughter cells. It is this stable transformation that will let one to introduce one copy of DNA into one cell and then let the one transformed cell to regenerate a complete organism where each cell has a copy of that introduced DNA. The handling of an organism's DNA by transformation permits incomparable ability to control the function of a gene from levels of cell function to organism physiology to ecological roles. It also offers a way to divide the functional importance of fragments of the gene or particular amino acid residues of the subsequent protein. Transformation further more agrees to the production of plants or animals to yield unique proteins or specially eliminate expression of a particular protein. There are several ways that cloned DNA can be tangibly hosted into a cell. DNA can be micro-injected into cells or blast into the cell on the surface of microprojectiles, or they can go in through holes in the cell membrane encouraged by a heavy-duty electrical current. Drosophila melanogaster, the fruit fly, and Caenorhabditis elegans, simply called as C. elegans, the eukaryotic nematode, are generally transferred through microinjection. Plant transformation can take benefit of plant pathogenic bacteria, that is nothing but the Actobacterium tumefaciens, that transfer DNA from a plasmid. It transport into plant cells as part of its life cycle. Nevertheless, it is likely to manipulate the plasmid such that a gene of concern is positioned into the plasmid in Agrobacterium so that the bacteria will familiarize this DNA into a plant cell. A single plant cell that has picked up the new DNA from the bacteria has to be regenerated into a whole plant. This is done to transform most plants using Agrobacterium. This procedure comprises the culturing of the transformed cell to offer duplication of that cell. Levels of plant hormones can be used to source this mass of cells to produce roots and shoots of a regenerated plant. This procedure can take weeks and the particulars differ from plant to plant. For Arabidopsis, a replacement method has been developed which is called a dip infiltration. In this technique, Agrobacterium transporting the altered plasmid is hosted into the whole plant by immersing the plant in a bacterial solution. Agrobacterium will transfer the DNA from its plasmid into a lot of these cells in the plant. A number of these transformed cells will be used to culture the whole plant, which can grow and develop flower and fruits comprising the pollen and ovules. Because of the possibility of self-fertilization in Arabidopsis, seeds created from these flowers will have the hosted gene at a low rate. The chief practical problem of transformation, irrespective of the technique used, is the low regularity at which it happens. Only a small portion of cells where the DNA has moved in the nucleus does the DNA become united into a chromosome. Therefore, one requires a way of recognizing those cells or plants that have the introduced DNA. Commonly, one gene involved in the introduced DNA is a selectable marker gene. For instance, a gene that confers resistance against a chemical that destroys common plant cells. One such antibiotic that kills plant cells is kanamycin. Including a kanamycin resistance gene in company with a gene of interest in the Agrobacterium vector permits one to select transformed plants by budding them on kanamycin. Only transformed plants will endure as they express the hosted kanamycin resistance gene. For the Agrobacterium infiltration technique, the seed from the infiltrated plants are overlaid on agar having kanamycin. The low number of plants having the hosted DNA will sprout and grow on these plates. In this session, we described plant transformation vector, plant transformation vectors and selectable markers. By going through this session, we got to know that plant transformation is the process by which the genetic composition of plants can be altered in the laboratory. In this process, a segment of DNA is hosted in one of the plant chromosomes. Physical or direct method and chemical or indirect methods are the two types of plant transformation methods. Plant transformation vectors are plasmids that have been precisely designed to enable the generation of transgenic plants. Plant transformation has currently become a core research tool in plant biotechnology. In biotechnology, vectors are used to carry and insert definite DNA structures into target genomes. A DNA fragment is transported to a host cell by the agent called vector. There are two types of vectors called as the cloning vector and expression vectors. A selectable marker is a gene whose expression permits the identification of an explicit trait or gene in an organism.